Welcome, everybody. It's the opening weekend of the 2017 season. My name is Scott Rain, along with Brent Smith up here, and it is the Chicagoland Slam, the off-road championship presented by Amsoil. It's the TORC season opener. As you can see right now, this is a full schedule of racing here this afternoon as we get ready for a full slate of sportsman racing and then working our way eventually this afternoon into pro racing as well. So a lot of things to go on. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, will everyone please rise? And it's my honor to introduce to you one of our brand new Pro 2 racers. He's racing for Allies for Autism, Kevin Handegraff, for our opening invocation.
Good morning. If you could take off our hats, bow our heads, please. Heavenly Father, you're an awesome and powerful God. We thank you for being here today with us. We ask that you bless these race fans. We thank you for the crew, camera crew, the prep crew, our pit crew on our teams. Give them blessing while they do what they do. Keep us race drivers safe and very competitive throughout the races today and tomorrow. We thank you for this day. We ask all of this in your name, Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as we are about to hear the greatest song in the world about the greatest country in the world. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. I don't hear it in the house. I don't hear it in the house. All right, we don't have a lineup, even email. I don't have it.
Can hear each other.
All right. Okay. I don't have. So I'm going to hopefully pick it up off of timing and scoring as they cross the line.
Well, that's all we can do.
Once again, welcome everybody to the opening weekend here at Chicagoland Speedway. It's the Chicagoland Slam. Once again, my name is Scott Rain. I'm joined up here with Brent Smith. And Brent, I know you're a racer at heart. You've been actually on the podium in the Sportsman division quite a few times, and you have a pro light sitting in that shop. You're just dying to get on the track out here as soon as you get that thing, and a couple of sponsors jump on board. But the off season, even in your position, now up here in the booth, it had to be real long up there in the UP.
Yes, it was a long, long winter, but I take it as it goes. I stay confident, and it's my dream to get into the class and be around this sport. And if I can be involved in any way, it's to share what I know about the sport to these fans and around the world. I love it, and I can't wait to get this season started.
We want to welcome everybody that's watching us at TORCracing.com or TORCseries.com as well as YouTube. And you know what? We'll be coming back at you later this afternoon in the Pro Series as well, being joined with Robbie Floyd and Grant Langston bringing you the broadcast. But, man, we got the Sportsman class, the light buggies lined up right now, and it's always been, it seems like year after year after year, that class, the light buggies is the largest one. I think last year at one point we had upwards of almost, I want to say 36, 37 cars lined up at Crandon during one of the rounds of racing.
Yeah, we have racing throughout the class. I mean, you can be in the top 5, have your own little race. You're back in 15th, 18th, 20th. They have their own little race. It's cool. It's a great class, good entry-level class, and those cars aren't as slow as they look sometimes. I mean, you have to get in them. They're a fast go-kart, I call it, and you have to hit your marks. You have to have momentum. You can't, every time you scrub off a corner, you're going to lose 3 seconds.
Well, that's the thing. It's a very limited class. Every component is a stock component, factory stock component. VW suspension, the VW air-cooled motor with the restrictor plate on top of that. And basically, I kind of look at it as your butt's about 4 inches off the ground, and that's about it.
Yeah, you're not very high off the ground there. And, I mean, it's competition. These people, every one of these racers want to be out here for a reason, and any kind of racer, you want to win. So if you can have a race throughout the field, day in and day out, week in and week out, I mean, it keeps coming back. These guys don't just come to race. They bring 5, 10, 15, 20 people to the track, and it's a cheaper class to get into, and that's what we need. We need the car count to keep coming up, and like I said earlier, I'm excited to see what happens in this first race of the year.
They'll be coming out right now in the reconnaissance lap, do a lap or two, get their cars warmed up, get a last minute look at what the track conditions are, because a lot has changed out here on this course since the last time they're out here, and this is a situation where, just like you hear in NASCAR all the time, the track is constantly changing. Even with nobody's on the dirt track, no one's out there running laps or doing any kind of just driving around, it'll still change over a course of an hour, hour and a half, just from the sun and the wind. And right now, that's what these guys are checking out. As we will get them all lined up, as they're still coming on the track with one of the largest fields of this weekend. And again, I want to invite everyone, when racing is concluded, please don't go home. Stick around for a while. Walk the pits. Get some pictures and autographs. These are some of the best off-road racers in the world, and we travel the country in the TORC series, bringing the off-road racing to all kinds of different fans in all different locations. Well, I wasn't far off. We've got 31 cars in our lineup for the 1600 light buggy division. On the front row, it's going to be Corey Holter in the 100 alongside Logan Islow in the 131. Row 2 inside, Jake Nelson, and then outside him in the 172, it looks like it's going to be Ryan Stingle. Wow, how about that? Greg Stingle will be driving tomorrow, but today it's his son Ryan. In row 3, it'll be the old man from Canada in the 156, Tom Benevenuti. Alongside of Tom is Chris Vanden Elzen in the 166, Billy Booth in the 151, Sean Springstrow in the 117. In row 5 is Tracy Fleischman, along with Todd Lemke in the 109.
Starting in 11th position, the number 177 of Colin Schultz. Right alongside of him in number 159, Chad McGoverg. In the 14th position, starting the 117 of Hunter Tingley. In the 15th position, number 173 of McKenna Envik, and the 122 of Dylan Marquardt. And starting in the 17th position, the number 134 of Scott Booth. In the 18th position, the 118 of Adam Lepet. In the 19th position, Barry Wallen in the 142. Stephanie Patterson already in the 144. Andy Van Elzen, in the 167. Kyle Benetude in the 174. Bo Ambos in the 188. Gary Graff in the 137. Pete Delory in the 199. Derek Tilkins 121. Brennan Graff 112. Paul Hayward 115. And starting the 29th, 30th, 34th, 31st position, Connor Schultz, Tyler Wyans, and Ryan Josh.
You notice the track configurations. If you've been here with us in the past, the track configuration this year is a little bit different, actually quite a bit different from what we've had in the past. They go down the long back straightaway into turn 3, that tight 180, and they're 4-5 wide off the tabletop. Meanwhile, up front, Holcher's got the whole shot. Now keep in mind, these are very limited cars. Not real big on horsepower, and how about this? We got Stingle up into that 3rd spot. As they come around and complete lap number 1.
Holger's still holding on to a couple car length lead. Coming almost to a little rolling corner, coming back into a double tabletop. As you can see, they're not as horsepower as later on in the trucks and the bigger Sportsman divisions, but you have to hit your marks. You see it's all running up on that final turn, and you want to make sure you make it lap after lap. Same lap, try to lock it down. But as we said, the track's ruddy. Throughout the day, you're going to see it just tear up. Battle for the lead right in front of us. New leader. Rut's really starting to build contact with Stingle. Full course yellow coming out. We have a car that come to the complete stop on the final turn. All 29 of these cars left, going to come to a rolling restart coming up once we clear the track. Good look at our new pace truck this year, the Toyota Encendido 4-door. That truck is all fully wrapped, beautiful. Vision wheels, Cooper tires. We're going to come back to the restart. Take these guys one more lap around before we go green. Track already starting to dry out up on top of the tabletops. Anytime you get 30 buggies together, you're going to tear up some real estate no matter how much power they're running. And as you can see in every corner, especially in the infield, you can see it already rutting up. And for these guys, they have pretty much stock suspension on these things. I mean, to your normal backs, it probably wouldn't feel too well, but they negotiate very, very well. These are a lot of talented drivers in these classes, and they'll later on move up into the other divisions. And you see a lot of guys coming out, like Mike Vandenheuvel back in the day used to run this class and pretty well take care of everybody. And now you see Stingle, he's still in the class and doing well. You never can forget that bright orange car, and we'll see if he's got anything for these leaders. Holdren moving back into third position. Here we go, coming back to green, all buttoned up, all in lockstep. Oh, we got one over in the infield. Landed back on his wheels. We'll see, I think, for caution in the local caution, I think it is. Now we're going to go full course. So we'll re-rack them, restack them, and have another restart here shortly. Corey Holger, he's fallen back to the fourth position right here. We're trying to, excuse us, we're trying to get the timing and scoring figured out here and figure out every one of these 30 drivers' names and numbers. It's hard to see from right up in the booth.
So we completed 4 laps out of the 8-lap race. Running up front is Corey Holcher, Greg Stingle, Billy Booth, Colin Schultz, Tracy Flashman. As it looks like we'll be given one more time around before we go back to green flag racing. Keep in mind, this is the single buggy division. I'm sorry, this is the light buggy. Single buggy's coming up next. Very similar in look, a little bit quicker, a little bit larger motors, a little bit less of a restrictor plate, but very, very, very competitive. Yeah, Richie Kuloff out there. He always has the best job of every race weekend of every year. He's the guy behind the wheel of that pace truck, the Toyota Escondido. Vision wheels, Cooper tire truck. We'll keep an eye on him. It looks like if he ducks into the infield, we'll take a gander, keep an eye on him. Yep, he does a quick left turn into the infield. We're going green this time by. And the track, like you said just a moment ago, Brent, is definitely drying out, but luckily the wind is carrying that dust away as we're back to green flag racing. Stingle takes a peek to the inside, trying to battle for that third spot. As they come around and score another lap as they go by. Jake Nelson running up front. Jake Nelson having a great run. And yeah, he might have an issue with his transponder. Jake Nelson gapping a little bit. Stingle goes to the outside. Nelson looking so strong. Just a few laps remaining. And, oh, we got one car going way to the outside. For a moment, it looked like it may have tried to pull off the track. Another one looks like he's going up in smoke in the 120. That's Tracy Fleischman throwing a lot of smoke right now. But man, look at Nelson pulling away from Stingle. And it looks like we're going back to full course yellow with one car in the infield, having completely lost the right rear. And we got one car up against the wall. I believe that's the 109, From our vantage point up here, it's pretty hard to see. So that's Todd Lemke. Tough break for him. He's usually a front runner more times than not, running well up front, working his way through the pack. Today, that's not going to happen. I believe that's Connor Schultz right now running in that 4th spot, having a very good run here this afternoon. Jake Nelson looking so strong right now, running up front. Stingle in that 2nd spot. I believe that's Booth right now running in 3rd. Hey, don't forget, everybody, we got Tim and the gang here from Racing Dirty with the official TORC apparel, including the very, very cool event-specific t-shirt, the Chicagoland Slam. You got to stop down and check out all the cool things at Racing Dirty right adjacent to the entry gate into the grandstands. Stop down and see Tim and Racing Dirty and all the cool TORC official apparel. Tracy Fleischman taking a peek to the inside. Colin Schultz falls back 1 spot. Looks like Holzer has a good run to the outside, up against the wall down that backstretch. Man, further back in the pack, 3 wide off that tabletop. Our leaders in that tight right hand 180 into the infield. Looks like Tracy Fleischman coming back one more time. Little puff of smoke out of Fleischman's car. Nelson looking so strong right now. Billy Booth running back in that 3rd spot, just waiting for something to happen. Stingle still in that 2nd spot.
Coming by what will be the finish line. Let's see if Stingle has anything for our leader. Full course yellow. Pile up right in the infield before the first tabletop.
Yeah, for a moment there, the entire course, or entire corner was blocked with no way around. You see 2 cars. Oh, I was just about to say 2 cars were locked together. One is back underway. And we still have 2. One looks like it's starting to fire up. You see that puff of smoke out of that green and gray car. As we go back to our leaders, as we're once again under full course yellow. Man, I got to call out Jake Nelson. He is looking so strong right now. Stingle running that 2nd spot in that blaze orange car. And, you know, we go back the last 4 or 5 years, that orange car, no matter where he starts back in the pack, no matter what happens at the competition yellow, no matter what happens on the track, somehow he works his way front. Maybe something happens, he falls to the back, works his way to the front again. I believe at one of the Bark River races a few years ago, he actually started, I think, 2nd from the last, worked his way to the lead before the comp yellow. Something happened where he fell to the back of the pack once again and worked his way through the field to take the win. And he's done that his entire career, and that car is so fun to watch because he does moves. He's almost so quiet about it, very stealth. And right now, in that 2nd spot, once again, we got that Richie Kuloff out there in the Toyota of Escondido. We want to thank them once again for providing this year's, the 2017, the Off-Road Championship presented by Amsoil Pace Truck. Vision wheels and Cooper tires on that hot rod. And by the way, just kind of a little bit of a side story. At the very last minute, Jeff Nordstrom, who takes care of building our tracks and maintaining it all weekend long, picked that thing up in Southern California from the dealer. I met him at his house, put my Cub on the back, my pit bike on the back of that thing, and then they hired somebody to drive it all the way out here to Chicago. How much screws we need for the rest of the races, I have no idea yet. No clue. I got here. We've got just a few laps remaining before we go back to green flag racing. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking Booth might have something. He's right now in that 3rd spot. Tracy Fleischman back and 4th. But I really think Booth might have something for these guys in the waning laps of this race. As he's likes to be a little bit of the aggressive side as they take the green flag. We're back underway for the final portion, final few laps of this race. And nice move by the 122. Dylan Marquardt, right at the start-finish line, pulls to the outside, passes a few cars, and he's moving up. He's now in the top 10. And we got a little bit of a pile. Looks like Tom Benevenuti's involved just behind the tree or the light pole. Can't quite see what happened, but Benevenuti was running the top 5 earlier in the race. Had to back up and take off again, and now finds himself in the back half of this race as we still have a car hung up on the tires. Looks like he's back underway and is. Well, there was Booth for a moment, coming back into the front stretch. Took a peek to the inside of Stingle. Stingle will be able to hold him off. So many variations, so many differences of this track. We got the 3 tabletops this year where we only had 1 last year. Rhythm section, a little bit on the another inside area, right where they're coming to now. Our leader right here into the rhythm section. A little bit smaller than the past, very high speed area. But I kind of like what Jeff Norsham did with turn 2. Little bit of rollers, just enough. When they're in full drift, you're going to see these guys pitch sideways like a sprint car, kind of drifting over those little rollers. Upset the suspension just enough to make it kind of tricky for these guys, especially in the truck division. Our top 2 cars pulling away from the rest of the field as the battle for the final podium spot is really heating up. And Bo Ambos in that bright green, maybe, I don't know what that means. Is it green or yellow? That fluorescent car. Now battling Booth for the 3rd spot. Now we got 3 cars are going after that last podium position. And another full course yellow. So it looks like we've got Booth, Tracy Fleischman, Bo Ambos are all battling for that last podium spot. You know, it's kind of cool to see drivers that are totally aware of what's going on around them. Tracy Fleischman had gotten around Bo just a moment after the yellow flag came out, realized it, whether it was through his own awareness or a spotter, but then pulled off to the side, let Bo Ambos go back around. So our top 5 once again, Jake Nelson. We got Stingle, Booth, Bo Ambos, and Tracy Fleischman all in the top 5. Got Eric Lafreniere right there running in that 6th spot. He's looking pretty decent the last few laps. We'll see if he's got something for that 3-car battle for the podium. And I'm starting to notice we've got a few cars lined up in that infield. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Man, they're dropping like flies. Well, 1/3 of the field. I mean, you're going to find that. I mean, you got those early race season gremlins, and it doesn't matter what form of racing you're in, you're going to have that. And looks like we're going back to green flag right now. Jake Nelson about to take the green. There it is. We're back underway. Nice jump by Nelson, but not able to pull away like he had in the last few restarts. In fact, Booth now has to run down the backstretch. Booth pulling up to the back bumper of Stingle. And look at Bo Ambos trying to dive into the corner, running in 4th. And Dylan Marquardt trying to make something racy up in the few laps. I mean, we got 4 cars making contact to the corner. Tracy Fleischman, the big loser on his, will lose 2 spots. Dylan Marquardt now to the top 5. White flag is out. Here we go. It's all on the card now. One last time to the infield. Stingle still has a shot at the top spot. One turn remaining. Into the front stretch. Stingle goes inside. It's a drag race now. The final pass almost was Wade, but will run out of time. Nelson will take the win. Stingle second. Booth third. Nice run by Bo Ambos in that fourth spot. And how about Dylan Marquardt finishing the top 5? Nice way to end the first race of the year. Wow. As our top 3 make their way up to the podium for our winning interviews, we'll be right back after a few words from our sponsors.
When it comes to protecting your engine, AMSOIL offers the next level performance truck owners demand. AMSOIL provides 75% more engine protection against horsepower loss and wear than required by a leading industry standard, extending the life of pistons and cams. Give the vehicle you love the above and beyond fortification it deserves. AMSOIL, devoted to protection.
Well, don't forget, once again, everybody, you can follow us. Follow TORC for contests, giveaways, race photos, and videos. And also at Instagram and Twitter, at TORC Off-Road. You can also like us on Facebook.com/TORC. Or share your content to be featured. Hashtag, all cap letters, hashtag TORC17 and TORC, hashtag TORC Off-Road. Or all information, you can always go to our website, TORCseries.com. finishers of the It's now time to meet our top 3 finishers of the first race of the 2017 season, the light buggy division. This young man has really been coming around and being consistent round after round, finishing at 3rd spot, the 151 of Billy Booth.
Congratulations to you, Billy. It's quite that race out there. I mean, I'm so baffled right now. That battle for 3rd, you had 3 different buggies out there. How did you pull it out, especially with that dust right now?
I don't know. It's all about the starting position because, I mean, you can't really pass out there. The whoops are really bad. And, you know, just stuck right behind Stingle there and couldn't really do anything, but we did what we could. So we're up here. Good day.
Well, it seems like you got that winning combination right now, getting up here on 3rd. Now you're going to go back to the pits, do a little thing, and then come back here. Hopefully we can see you up on top of that box tomorrow.
Yeah, no problem. Just got a quick thanks to Mark with Mud Muncher, Brad with Alternative, and Eddie down at Jenny's Pub and Grill. Thanks for your help.
It's always good to see you up here. Congratulations.
Second place finisher. And now it's time to meet our second place finisher. I think he just made a pretty good statement that he wants to drive this car. Dad, step aside. Finishing second, the 172 of Ryan Stingle.
Congratulations to you, Ryan. I feel like I should give you a hug because you know your dad and I always hug when we're up here, so I got to do that for the Stingles up here. Good to see you up here. 1st and 2nd, man, that was crazy. Back and forth. You were on his tail the entire time. What's going through your mind, especially through the tabletops when they were getting a little bit rutted?
Oh man, just trying to keep it straight. We had a great run going and just didn't want to mess it up.
Well, it seems like a lot of people brought you here. Who do you want to thank?
Oh, my dad, of course, for letting me drive the car. Girlfriend, my family. Actually, my sister's graduating college today. That's why I'm driving the car, so I'm just a fill-in.
Well, you've done your dad proud. Hop up and on 2. Congratulations.
And now finishing the top spot. Hello. I know, first race of the year. You beat on me later. Now, Jake, answer me this. Is this your first career win? I'm trying to read my memory here.
Yes, it is.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, taking the top spot here this weekend, the 141 of Jake Nelson.
You hear it?
Congratulations
You hear it?
to you. Congratulations.
All right,
to
keep
you.
talking. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2.
I lost me. Congratulations to you, Jake. You did an amazing ride out there. Listening to Brent and Scott talk about you in the entire race, talking about how strong you were, how you were out there. What was going through your mind the entire time? Because I know Scott giving you a little, up there. What do you want to say about that?
Well, I got a bunch of fast guys behind me, so I just wanted to hold the inside line and hold my car going straight. And I knew if I did that, it'd be hard for those guys to pass me. So I'm pretty excited about that.
When you head back today, you're going to keep the same setup, change anything, seeing how it's drying out a little bit with the dust?
Well, this car, the first time I drove it was in practice yesterday. So probably not going to change much, I don't think, no.
Well, it's good to see you up here. Who would you like to thank?
I got to thank Mark Steinhardt and Glenn Matthews. They built my car for me and spent a lot of hours in the shop over the winter. And without those guys, I wouldn't be here. I also got to thank Fastenal out of Rhinelander and Monocle's Pizza out of Minocqua, Wisconsin. So that's it.
Well, it's good to see you up here. Hop up on number 1. Congratulations. One more round of applause, and back up to you, Scott.
Well, once again, congratulations, guys. And Jake Nelson, very, very nice job, man, running up front. Well, as we get ready for our next race, the single buggy division, we'll be right back after this.
At Patent Power Systems, we've got the power. The rental power for your business, for your event, for your peace of mind. Cat rental generators, from 20 kilowatts to 2,000 kilowatts. The best power equipment, maintained by CAT certified technicians. Power, when you need it, where you need it. Patton Power Systems is your one-stop source for rental power equipment. Generators, light towers, heaters, air conditioners, and air compressors. Backed by Patton Power Systems, expert service and solutions. When you need it, where you need it. We've got the power.
Well, here we go with our next race this afternoon. It's going to be the single buggy division. A little bit quicker, a little bit bigger motor, still stock VW components, suspension, motor, a little bit less restrictor plate, a little bit quicker, but even more competitive. Here's our lineup. On the front row is Jeff Villamore in the 379 along with Jason Flugrant in the 356. Row 2, Craig Padel in the 300, Bruce Fraley out of Las Vegas in the 319. And I got to give a shout out to Dawn, who's sitting at home watching us on the internet, watching her husband as we take the green flag. It's Dylan Parsons, the 319, Ryan Mottinger in the 343 out of Ohio, Sean Springstrow in the 117, Tony Keepers, Pat Welch, Trent Hansen from right down the road in Rockford, Illinois, and Guy Senkowski, Dave Luger, Jeff Pashinsky, and Matt Gerald. Oh man, this could be a very ugly race with Jeff Villamore starting on the front row, and that guy is always fast, and to be starting up front, this is going to be crazy.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of times last year that Villamure, he pulled away and kind of checked out, but I mean, he's opening up about a 5-6 car length lead, and as you can see, the track drying out a lot up on the tabletops, and so like we said earlier, it's a new different style layout. We have 3 tabletops, a rhythm section, and a couple just single jumps. But as the cars get faster, we're going to work in our trucks division and sportsmen, and I'm excited to see what's going to go on, and you're going to see faster speeds time and time again later on in the day. So stick with us as Villamure just opened up a 20 car length lead on the backstretch. Bruce Fraley, I believe, that's sitting in the second position. As you can see, those cars try to go really wide, trying to get a nice little apex coming down, keeping it tight to that tire. You get outside in that loose stuff, it just dogs the motor, and you go backwards. And like I said earlier in the light buggy division, there's not as much horsepower in the light buggies, and they scrub it off, and it kills them. But in the single buggy, they're a little bit faster, a little bit more horsepower. You can blow through some of the rougher sections.
And the really neat story about our second place runner right now is out of Las Vegas, he keeps his car from some friends they met at a racetrack, some fans. They volunteered their property, their shop. He keeps his car at the shop right around the Anago area, I believe. And Bruce will either stick around a day or so after a race and prep it for the next weekend, or he comes in a day early and preps it for that weekend's race. So I know Fraley's got a lot of family here. The only one that's not here is his wife, and she's watching us back home. Donnie's looking real strong right now as he's in that second spot, as our top 2 are slowly pulling away from the rest of the field. But right now, Jeff Villamore, you know, he's got a nice gap running up front, but I can't help but think that he's going just as fast as he needs to go because we have that competition yellow, and these guys know how to play that strategy. And, you know, don't burn up your equipment, don't burn up the tires, you know, get the shocks all hot and everything in that first half. Kind of play, go as fast as you need to go. If you're in the first, I say the first half of the cars are in the field. If you're in the back half of the field in the first half, you just got to go balls out. There ain't no doubt about it. But right now, Villamore actually is losing a little ground to Fraley, as now there's probably about 4, maybe 5 car separation between first and second. Those 2 have pulled away from the rest of the field, though, without a doubt.
Fraley starting to cut a couple more car lengths off our leader. Getting a nice run up on the top section, starting to dry up by the wall. Fraley still going wide through the little fingers on the corner. Villamure still looking for any bit of grip up on that high side. Fraley tightening it up in the infield. You'll see as they come back to the front tabletops, Fraley, he'll drive her in really hard after this section. Cuts off another car length. First and second open up about a 20 car length lead.
Dylan Parsons right now running that third spot virtually all by himself, as he's got a few, probably 3 second, maybe 4 second gap in front of him, and he's probably got equally that behind running in that fourth spot. But, man, Fraley was right in the back bumper of Villamore just a lap or so ago, and now is back about 4 or 5 car lengths. Once again, Villamore's pulling away a little bit more from Fraley. You know what? I think Fraley, he's a very quiet, smart individual in that I think he kind of experimented in the lap, 2 or 3, figured out that he was able to reel in Villamore, and there's the competition yellow as they cross the Amsoil finish line. Jeff Villamore crossed the line, Bruce Fraley, but like I started to say, I think Fraley figured out, okay, I can reel him in a little bit. Okay, there's nobody around. Let me fall back a little bit. I'll save the car for the second half. I kind of think that's what we're going to see. The first lap or two of the second half, I see him kind of just maintaining. With about 4 laps to go, I think you're going to see a whole different thing. Actually, with about 2 laps to go, I should say. Once again, our Toyota of Escondido, Toyota Tundra on the track. Richie Kulop behind the wheel, running on Vision wheels and Cooper tires. Has caught our leader and is going to regroup the entire field. You know, this competition was instituted back in 2006. I should say the end of 2005. And there's a lot of controversy about this whole thing. It's going to take away the competitiveness. It's going to take away the racers' advantage. Okay, I worked my butt off to get a large lead, and now you're going to take it away. And there's a lot of controversy about that. And then about 2 laps into this little experiment, we'll call it, the competition yellow, everybody goes, I think we got something here, and started liking it more and more and more, except the one person that's running up front, and that's Jeff Villamore. But, there's some changes here and there they're going to be trying later on this afternoon, which is going to be very, very cool. We'll explain that as we get closer to our Pro Series. But as we get ready to go back green, it looks like we'll be given one more time around. And, it's a few things that we're trying to make things more fun for the fans, bring some more competitiveness into it, some more strategy for our teams. Because if some of the fans that are here in the stands didn't know this, that just like NASCAR, these drivers have radio communication with their spotters. And we have the convenience of a spotter. It's a safety factor, number one. But that also adds that ability of strategy we talked about earlier when it comes to that competition yellow. Right now, the spotters are talking heavy to our drivers, letting them know what's going on, maybe even calming down the driver a little bit, maybe even kicking him in the butt a little bit. Who knows? But we're just a moment away from going back to green flag racing for the second half. Richie Kulov will do a sharp left-hand turn off the track. Here we go for our second half. Jeff Villamore, Bruce Fraley. 1 and 2 on the track. We're going back to green flag racing. Villamore goes a little bit up against the wall. Meanwhile, Fraley's got a big run down the backstretch. Fraley up alongside. Here they go to the infield. And making it look so easy and smooth, Fraley now running up front about 1 car length as he pulls away through the infield into that right-hand turn. you know what? It's like he had that plan. He made it look so easy. Up over that tabletop in the infield in that left-hand turn, back in the front stretch, already a 3-car length lead over Jeff Villamore. And I can't help but think that Villamore wasn't all that surprised by that.
No, he had it. Bruce Fraley had it in his pocketbook. He was trying it early in the race, like you were saying, and it worked. You take notes as you're racing, like I said earlier, and you work on the full race. You have that mandatory caution. Jim Baldwin back in the day switched that. A lot of guys liked it. A lot of guys hated it. But now it gives a guy another shot at the end of the race or towards the beginning. You can just pace yourself. And Bruce Fraley did a nice job of that, just taking his time running that inside. And we'll see if Villamure can reel him back in. Maybe study some lines, get an idea where he's faster, where he might be a little bit quicker than Fraley. But Fraley still 3-4 car lengths.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk to Bruce yesterday afternoon, and he's kind of relaxing in the pit area and kind of staying out of the sun a little bit. We talked for probably 15, 20 minutes, and you could just tell he had that quiet excitement about the first race of the year. I don't know how much convincing Don would take for Don to want to move out here to the Midwest. I don't know, but Bruce loves it out here. He lives in Las Vegas in the heat, but yet he keeps coming back year after year after year, and that's his choice. He doesn't have to do this. He's got a great business going on back in Las Vegas, prepping race cars for some of the biggest names in off-road racing, but yet he keeps coming back to the Midwest. And I can't help but think he may have a West Coast or Southwest address, but I can't help but think he's got that Midwest personality. And in the infield, in that right-hand turn, we've got a car up on its side. And from our vantage point, no idea who that might be. But, during that conversation, you could just tell that, he was excited about seeing some of the family coming out here and kind of like a home track in the Midwest because they lived right down the road. But you could just tell that he had a little, he missed his wife and he just would give anything to have her here.
Matt Gerald, that is upside down in the infield. Safety crew, a lot of safety crew, the TORC safety crew doing their job, asking if he's all right. He might have got his bell rung a little bit, but they're going to pull him in the infield out of the way, and we should be getting started here in this lap. As you can see, Matt Gerald getting towed off into the infield. Fraley still holding on to our lead. It'll be interesting to see, Scott, if Villamure has anything for Bruce Fraley. I mean, you can sit there. Villamure, he had a chance to get that clean air, run out front for a while, and he got his hat picked up a little bit, but you'll see Villamure, he's fast year-round.
You gotta love technology. I just got a message from Don Fraley. Hey, I'm from Chicago. I would love to move back there. Also, a little side story about the car that was just on its side. The 395 of Matt Gerald. He was, a few years ago, he was one of our Pro Light drivers and had a horrible, horrible accident at Redbud during one of our races and absolutely cased the whole truck on a jump and really messed up his back bad. I mean, really, really bad. Spent months and months and months in the hospital in Michigan before he could even come back to Wisconsin. As now he needs help walking, but he's been struggling and he's been really working hard, rehabilitating over the last few years. And he's now able to walk on his own, or he has for a while now, been able to walk on his own with help of some equipment. But the thing is, he's back racing. He made a promise to his nurses, to his doctors, he's going to be racing again. And it was just here in Chicago where his rehab is at. And hopefully Matt Gerald and his his doctors and nurses. Some of them may be here. I'm not sure. Hopefully they are, because there's the success story right there on that track. And Matt Gerald, by the way, is usually one of our front runners.
Yeah, Matt Gerald, it's one heck of a story how someone can come from pretty much bed rest to be back out onto the track, and it's amazing. The guy, he's a good kid. It's good to see him sticking at it, and you'll see him. He's usually not in that back. He's usually running up front in any class he's in, and he'll get his car fixed up tonight, and he'll be back up in that front later in the weekend. As you see Fraley coming back in front of the crowd, Villemere still trying to baby step through that bottom. They're trying to get as much grip as they can coming out and letting it fade up. Kaczynski in the orange car coming on the inside. They make contact going through the fingers for third.
There was a slight puff of smoke. You saw just a little bit. Those tires contact side to side walls. And Kaczynski was able to make the pass inside. Dylan Parsons had to drift up against the wall, collected it, and is now back in the fourth. And Villemore goes back into the lead. It looks like Fraley, let's see, I thought I saw maybe a flat tire. But man, oh man, oh no, Fraley is slowing. Fraley is slowing the tabletop. And you know what? I think he may have transmission problems. It appears that he can't find a gear. He's fallen back now to 5th, 6th, 7th spot. As Villemore has well up front. Fraley still falling back. Yeah, he's got to be having some sort of, he's still moving. It appears he still has power, but I'm guessing now that he has transmission issues and just can't seem to find a gear. Tough break for the 312 out of Las Vegas. Meanwhile, back up into that third spot, we got a great battle going on between, it looks like Jason Flugrat and I want to say Dave Luger. And just I mentioned, it looks like Luger, someone pulled off the track right at the tabletop. And I believe that's Flugrat. So it's Dylan Parsons. Dylan Parsons, it was a pull-up track. And there's the white flag as Villemore crosses the line. Kaczynski running in second. Man, we bragged and bragged and bragged about Fraley and the equipment and his prep and his driving. But right now, boy, oh boy, you got to hand it to Jeff Villemore. Another one of those drivers that's on the podium consistently time after time, and it never gets old for him. And we got a great battle going on right now with a half a lap remaining. The battle for second place. They are virtually side by side through the corner. Kaczynski still has it. But for how long? Villemore, our leader, one more turn remaining into the front stretch. He'll take the win, but the battle for second is still on. It looks like Kaczynski will hang on. And as they cross the line, it's going to be Tony Keepers with that third spot. So it's Jeff Villemore, Jeff Kaczynski. And Tony Keepers, our top three. We'll get all those drivers up to the podium for their winning interviews in just a moment. We'll be right back.
Turo Trailblade Tires, the weapon of choice for wherever you want to go.
As we wait for our drivers to make their way up to the podium, don't forget, in just a few weeks, round 3 and 4 will take place. The Twin Cities Takedown in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The upcoming TORC event. Again, they'll be at ERX Motor Park in Carlson's. Once again, they outdid themselves for their second time. I mean, they outdid themselves when they opened up that park last year for a TORC event. And this year, we're going to be going back there twice. So, once again, in the June 10th and 11th, in just a couple of weeks, we'll be up at Twin Cities Takedown, ERX Motor Park, Elk River, Minnesota. I don't think you went last year, did you, Brent?
No, I didn't. I didn't get a chance to, but as everybody knows, I watched it plenty of times, and it's a great facility. It's great elevation changes. You have your big drop-off hills like Bark River. You have high, fast speeds like sections like Crandon. I mean, it's a little bit of everything like you're seeing today in Chicago. But at Minnesota in a couple weeks, you're going to see just a little bit faster, a little bit more driving style. The track ruts up like this, but the Carlsons are doing a wonderful job, and I'm excited. I can't wait to go, and it's going to be amazing to see those pro trucks and our sportsmen develop and make a new facility and make it an established track. I mean, we're going there twice this year, and I'm excited.
Yeah, that track is really neat because it's got a sand section, it's got a split lane section, it's got a super high bank, like a Bristol banking to it. You're in the woods. It's a park-like setting. It's got so many things going for it. One of the coolest scenes I think I saw was last year while looking at on camera from where I was sitting at, looking down into the staging area. It's like in a tree tunnel. And nobody was paying attention to the race trucks, none of the crews, none of the drivers. They were looking down at a trout stream running alongside the staging lane. It's such a beautiful piece of property. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's now meet our top 3 finishers. This man is no stranger to the podium. One more time, let's welcome to our third place finisher, the 352 of Tony Keepers. Well, as our engineers are working hard on our audio issues, let's now welcome to the stage one more time for second place. Another man is no stranger to the podium, the 324 of Jeff Pashinsky. And our winner here this afternoon, the 379 of Jeff Villamore. One more time as our engineers are working very hard to get this problem taken care of. Let's welcome to the podium our top 3 finishers. Third, Tony Keepers. Second, Jeff Pashinsky. And first, Jeff Villamore. Well, let's take a step aside one more time as we get ready for our next race. Once again, a few words from our sponsors.
Rugged radios. Work, race, play.
Hey Steve, where you at?
Experience clear communications through headsets or helmet kits.
I'm up on the hill to your right. Oh, there you are.
Talk vehicle to vehicle.
Keep radio contact going. Copy?
Talk to passengers.
Copy that, I gotcha.
And stream your favorite music. Complete communications for UTVs, base camp, toy haulers, or off-road vehicles. Rugged radios, the authority in communications.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, our next buggy class coming up today in the Super Buggy. 10 cars to start the field. Starting on the pole, the number 94 of Michael Meister. Starting on the inside, the number 2 of Ryan Schwabe. Starting in the second row, number 29 of Scott Schwabe. In the third row, starting in the fourth position, number 22 of Herman Barnum. Starting in the fifth spot, the number 12 of Dave Van Elsen. In the sixth position, number 18 of Steve Creeman. Seventh position, Joe Eppers. Eighth and ninth, 10th spot, Daley Pennico, Mark Steinhardt, and Michael Hester will round out your top 10.
Now this class, you could say, is a little bit different than what we've seen the first two buggy classes. Much more horsepower. Almost, I like to call this the Formula One of off-road. This is pretty much wide open as far as the buggy class goes in our Sportsman series. You got a couple of interesting stories out there right now. You got the father and son team in the Schwabes, Ryan and Scott. Also Joe Eppers, probably our oldest driver out there. He's had, I think he told me, 2 heart attacks and 3 strokes in the last few years, and he's just out there having a blast right now. Daley Pennico out of the Phoenix area. The young man in high school, just went to prom, and he's committed to run the whole series out here in both the Super Buggy and in the UTV. As we're going to green flag racing right about now, here we go.
Meister opening up a couple car length lead early, going through the fingers. Barnum working on that third position. Steinhardt, you see him working in the number 31 car. Second season in the Super Buggy division. He had a couple podiums last year, and we'll see him work his way through the field. Schwabi's Meister still opening up a 15-20 car length gap already early in this race. As you know from before, halfway point these cars will rack back up. It'll give them another chance. Meister's coming by once again. What will be our finish line. Riding, going through those fingers, staying to the bottom and letting it fade out just a little bit. You can see the different colors in the dirt. Obviously, you can see the water laying on that bottom low sections where they're not using it much during the race early on. But you can see as you go on that back session, they're setting up really high up by the wall to try to get the apex of the turn right to get it to rotate. Meister's still holding a 15-20 car length gap, trying to stay out of that wet spot on the bottom. Mark Steinhardt running in the second position. Mark Steinhardt holding on to the second spot. Second year in the Super Buggy division. Mark ran in the single buggies that you seen earlier today, and he worked his way. I mean, he deserves a chance in this Super Buggy class, and like I said, if you're a great driver, you can adapt and make your changes. Horsepower is different in here, but you still have to put every lap together. Steinhardt's been around it countless years, and it's good to see him. And hopefully he has something here in this second half for Meister. Brand new car just for Mark Steinhardt this year, running that second spot. Looks like they have that thing well put together to start the beginning first rounds 1 and 2 of the TORC Off-Road Championships presented by AMSOIL. Meister still gapping the second and third spot. Herman Barnum lap traffic. We'll see if Meister can easily get around him. Just don't want to take yourself out. I'm sure radio communication's going to hold Barnum on the bottom.
little bit further back in the pack, you'll see the number 12 car. If you go back quite a few years, if you're an off-road race fan from back in the day, you'll recognize probably the chassis or the profile of that car. That is a former Quick and Bright Larry Gorley car as they cross the line. Recently just purchased from somebody in this area who used to race as well. Now is kind of like a sidelines watching it. Helped us out tremendously this week. That's Luke Zoltmelter, otherwise known as Sticker Dude. That's his former car. I had a chance to hang out with him quite a bit last night late as he did some last-minute sticker packages for us and some of our safety vehicles. But we got some pretty nice piece of equipment. Number 36 out of out of Phoenix. That's Daley Pennico having a really good run. Starting to kind of get the feel of it. He's going to be very competitive in the UTVs without a doubt. The Super Buggy's fairly new division for him, but has been looking very, very strong. He's driven a lot of different race cars. He was a standout driver when he was a little bit younger in the modified karts. So looking very, very strong right now out on the racetrack. Daley Pennico, the number 36. Ryan Schwabe looking very good as well, the number 2. And you know what? That's kind of a standing joke / fun that father and son have had going back and forth. 4 years, I think, or maybe 5 years they've been racing against each other. Yeah, I don't say race together. I say race against each other. And there's another driver out there as we under competition yellow. We haven't seen for quite some time. And that's Michael Hester out of Florida out there in the number 9 car. As he's coming into the infield in turn 4 right now of the oval out of Florida. Michael Hester, haven't seen him for quite some time, has kept his car and decided to come out and play here this weekend. And just as we mentioned the number 12 a moment ago, there's Dave Van den Elzen parked in the infield, getting pulled off on the hook. I gotta give a shout out to a couple of people that are former racers and are here in the audience and really good friends. And you know what? I hear he's got a brand new Pro Light sitting in his shop. And no, I'm not talking about you, Brent, but talking about Randy Yeller from St. Louis, Illinois. And he's here hanging out. He ran quite a few different series, Mayora, the U.S. Off-Road Championship Series, the Stadium Series back in the Pace days. And he's also raced Core and TORC a few times. So he's sitting up in the stands. His son, one of his kids, is a very, very, stout individual running, fighting in the MMA circuit. And his dad looks like he could step in the ring himself. So I kind of shook his hand from a distance. Hey, how you doing, Randy? From way over there. But very, very cool guy and a very, very strong racing background. So thank you for coming and hanging out with us, Randy. It was pretty cool talking to you earlier this afternoon. Ryan Schwabe, the number 2. It's kind of cool to see the Mountain Dew logo back on one of the Schwabe cars. I'm just wondering, does anybody have anything for Meister? Anything. That kid came into this series, 3 years ago, and made a huge splash right away. Big kid, really big kid, super nice to talk to, but man was fast right out of the trailer.
Pace trucks off, getting ready to go back to green. Meister. What a jump by Meister. Opened up a 3-car length gap early on in the second half of this race. Pennico now running in the 3rd spot. Steinhardt still in that 2nd spot. Pennico gets into Steinhardt hard. Meister, Steinhardt, Pennico, your top 3. Meister first, second, Steinhardt. Penteco trying to do whatever he can to run down Steinhardt. You'll see he's trying to drive it hard back into this infield. Contact earlier. Steinhardt, I don't know if he missed a shift or whatever. Penteco getting a little run on the inside. Penteco opening up 3-4 car lengths on Steinhardt. Just one little mistake, a little misshift in the infield, and that's all it took. Let's see if Penteco can. Penteco all over the fingers.
Yeah, in fact, Penteco's having issues that look like handling through the little rollers on the turn 3. Here comes Steiny to the inside. They're side by side up on the tabletop. Still wheel to wheel in that right-hand turn. Penteco will retake the advantage. So Penteco is taking over second spot. And I think it's pretty cool. We got Kyle LeDuc, number 99 Monster Energy driver on the West Coast, listening right now. Where are you, Kyle? Where are you? Penteco looking very strong right now, holding off one of the best buggy drivers in the country, Steiny, Mark Steinhardt. Meanwhile, I think our leader, Michael Meister, is pretty much making a claim that he probably was one of the best drivers in the country in this class. Ryan Schwabe back in that 4th spot. Our top 4 cars are pretty gapped out right now, as we saw a little bit of a mistake by Mark Steinhardt 2 laps ago. This is where it gets really tricky for Daley Penteco. Take a look at turn 2 of the oval. Here's those rhythm sections, those soft rollers. He starts getting I call it alligator tail, swapping back and forth. He had that problem again. You gotta figure out how to get those things. Your car's gonna unload the suspension and gonna wanna kick sideways. So somehow you gotta figure out a way to hit those rollers kind of straight, or plan, or know how much your car's gonna get squirrely and just keep slowly turning into it. And Daly's still hanging on that second spot, but still having issues in turn 2 with those rollers. As our leader goes by, the AMSOIL finish line, completing another lap. But Mark Steinhardt right now running in 3rd is going nowhere. Hanging on to little hope there is, with just a few laps remaining, maybe seeing Daley Penteco. Once again, Daley slows down considerably through those rollers. Got around cleaner, but still slowed down quite a bit.
Meister still holding on to the 20 car length lead. Green flag still out for Meister. Meister, he's just putting it together. A lot of it's seat time. You have to put in the work. You have to know what your car does. You want to be used to it day in and day out. You don't want to go into it like Scott was saying earlier and not know how your car is going to react. You want that thing to be your baby. You want to trust it. And Meister, that's what he's doing, putting a lot of trust in his car, and it's paying off. And as he's coming up on another slower traffic car of, I can't see what number that is. See if he'll just move out of the way, giving him the flag. Michael Hester. Meister getting around, white flag, one more time a lap. One more time around here at Chicagoland. Penteco still running in that second spot. Steinhardt 3rd. Meister one more final time coming through the whoop section. Herman Barnum, lap traffic, gonna stay up high. Meister just clears that inside tractor tire over the tabletop. One more corner to go. Michael Meister. One turn to go. Here he is. The winner, number 94 of Michael Meister. Second, from Phoenix, Arizona, Daly Penico. And in the third spot, rounding out your podium, the number 31 of Mark Steinhardt. Well, stay tuned, folks. We're going to have the podium coming up, and we're going to take a little moment to thank our sponsors. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time now, look down towards the podium. We have our top 3 finishers. In third place, in the number 31, Mark Steinhardt.
Congratulations to you, Mark. New season, back over here. We're having this conversation again. You were all the way in the back of the pack, made it up to the third place box. How are you feeling today?
I feel real good about it. This is a brand new car for me. I just bought it this year, and first time I drove it was yesterday in practice. First one didn't go so good, but we're getting there. A few more adjustments, and hopefully we'll be up on the top of the podium.
Well, you were in second in points last year for the 2016 year. With this being a new one, you're bringing it up. Who do you want to thank today?
I got to thank Glenn Matthews and Matt Kinner for helping me out. I got to congratulate my nephew, Jake Nelson. He won the light buggy race earlier today. It's his first win, and I know he's fired up about that. We spent the winter building him a new car, and then obviously that worked real well. So got to thank BF Goodrich Tires, Alamode, Laundry Lobby, and Wash Smart, all out of Rhinelander, for sponsoring me and getting me here.
Congratulations. Hop up on number 3.
Thank you.
In the second spot, driving the DPR Super Buggy, the number 36 of Daly Penteco.
Congratulations to you, Daly. You're here up with 2 great guys in this class. How are you feeling right now, especially with that track out there?
I haven't driven the buggy a whole lot, just a couple races at the end of the year last year in Lucas, so I'm pretty happy to be out here this season racing TORC with Steve Downing and the Daly Penteco Racing Team, and we're just getting things figured out. Everything's different here, and I'm just glad to be able to hang with Michael and these guys a little bit and just figure things out, and glad to be up here and get some points and see how the rest of the season turns out. And I just got to thank my dad and Steve and my mom and my whole family and XS Industries, 2X Motorsports, and Fly Racing.
Well, congratulations. Looks like you're going to be up here a lot. Step up on number 2.
In the number 94 Ponzi back Super Buggy, today's winner, the number 94 of Michael Meister.
Congratulations to you, Michael. We talked a lot last season. You were out there, lots of car lengths in front of people, going all the way into the comp yellow. After the comp yellow, one thing, what was your spotter saying the entire time?
All in all, he was just trying to keep me real calm. But first race of the year, second season racing absolutely anything inside the driver's spot, and I feel absolutely great. We did a lot of homework this winter and got my car much faster and just easier to drive, and you can definitely show now.
Well, that smile says everything on your face. Who do you want to thank today?
I want to thank Ponzi, our company, Michael Meister Logging, Hobbytown, Never Lift Apparel, Southside Tire in Anago, and a lot of other guys, 92-0, all my crew, my dad, my girlfriend Caitlin. I couldn't do it without them. It's great.
Congratulations to you. Hop up on number 1. One more round of applause. Back up to you, Scott.
Once again, congratulations to our top 3 finishers in the Super Buggy division. We're just a moment away from our next race. In the meantime, let's step aside. We'll be right back after this.
Cooper tires on the ground, go round and round, round and round, round and round. Tires on the car are warranty. And what you need, the tires on the car help keep you safe. They grip the road when you hit the brakes.
Your tires matter, so count on Cooper. An American company since 1914.
Tires on the ground, go round and round.
When it comes to keeping your car you love safe, there's a motor oil that offers the world-class performance you demand. AMSOIL shields your automobile with 75% more engine protection against horsepower loss and wear than required by a leading industry standard, extending the life of vital components like pistons and cams. And Cooper Tire, an official tire sponsor of the TORC Series with athletes in Pro Light and Pro 2 competing in the Cooper Discover SST Pro. For more information, follow Team Cooper Tire on social media or to locate a dealer near you, visit coopertire.com. You know, race fans, the last few years, I believe it's been we're going to our third year now. We've had a special spot in our heart for a special foundation, and it's the Chris Cobb Memorial Benefit. And once again, for the third year, we are selling Chris Cobb Memorial Benefit stickers that can be found at the Race and Dirty trailer, the official TORC apparel trailer. So stop down and see them. But once again, 100% of the proceeds from the sales of these stickers go to the Chris Cobb Memorial Benefit. I was just down in Dallas last weekend for the 4th annual event, and what a great bunch of veterans, great bunch of people. And it's so nice on behalf of TORC to donate a check to Wayne and Debbie Kyle, the parents of Chris Kyle. First year, I believe it was $1,700. Last year was $1,500. So once again, thank you so much. Stop down and see the gang here from Race and Dirty and talk to Tim. He'll take care of you. And while you're down there, make sure to pick up one of those very cool event-specific T-shirts you're going to find down at the Race and Dirty trailer. Just stop down there and see Tim, and he'll take care of you. Our next class up on the track, it is the Sportsman UTV starting grid. Here we go. We got 7 cars on the track. Here's our lineup. The 726 of Thomas Martin alongside Stetson Robinson in the 745. Gabe Johnson in the 725. Jacob Rosales in the 713. Vince Lamandola in the 711. Kyle Venden in the 733. And John Lohman in the 799. The Sportsman division of UTVs. Later on this afternoon, we'll be having the Pro division. And, man, some of those guys were looking crazy fast in practice and qualifying earlier today. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of those UTVs, some of those Yamaha specifically, might be kicking faster, if not as fast lap times as Pro Lights. You know, speaking of some of those veterans, I know there's a friend of mine, I believe, hopefully he's done cutting the grass, but that's why he's not watching us earlier today, because he, like, holy crap, he forgot about the race. I believe he lives in Kentucky, so he's cutting grass, and he forgot all about the broadcast. Hopefully he's done, and he's now back in the house watching us on his laptop. And Kevin Jankowski is a great friend, one of our very valuable veterans, and loves the country, loves veterans, and he's one of the biggest advocates out there. Kevin, I hope you're watching, and if you are, thank you so much. I wish you were here to check this whole thing out, man. I think you'd love short course off-road racing. If you look over in turn 3 of the oval right now, you see the Yamaha YXZ with the flags on it. That is our official pace vehicle for all our UTV races. And we want to thank the gang here from Nielsen Enterprises for doing all the prep work, not only getting this thing ready for, but it's got the full load of lights on it, it's got the flags on it, so when the guys are on the track, they want to be seen, they want this thing to be seen. And the gang from Nielsen Enterprises at the very last minute got their hands on that. They installed all the lights. Also, we want to thank Sticker Dude for providing the graphics, but man, Yamaha really stepped up and supported us. We've got, I want to say, 4 Vikings UTVs that we're utilizing as part of our track crew and building a track. Here we go. We're going to green right away.
Everybody getting through turn one very clean. Martin still holding on, just second place all over, gets up a little bit up on the bike and opens up a spot. Stenson Robertson in the 745.
It looks like the class is pretty strong with the Yamahas right now, the YXZs, with one Arctic Cat running now in that third spot. So it looks like it's Leo Juliana running that second spot. So actually we have a few cars out there that, if you look closely, the 900 numbers, they are a different class of UTV, and they're out there doing some laps because they weren't able to qualify, so out there doing laps in this race. Meanwhile, what we want to pay attention to is the 700 numbers. So right now the 713, Jacob Rosales is our leader. Vince Lamandola in the 711 is running in second, with Stetson Robinson in the 749 running in that third spot. The UTVs have been absolutely on a tear as far as sales go and popularity the last few years, and it's becoming very apparent. If you stick around for a while, walk our pit area, you go walk through the pro pits, through the pro fours, pro two, pro lights, and adjacent to them are all the pro UTV classes in their pits as well. So, I mean, some of these pieces of equipment are absolutely astounding. And the thing is, it's so amazing. You can basically go to your power sports store and buy a race car. That's what these things are. Right off the floor, these Yamahas are crazy.
No, like you said, Scott, it gives any local person. I know in Bark River, where I live, there's a lot of kids that go on rides. They go on river rides, they go on trail rides, and it don't take them much to get it out here. So hopefully if anyone's listening back in Bark River, put a number on that thing and let's get this car count up. Later on today in the pro division, you're going to see the pro UTVs go a little bit faster, factory suspension. Just easing their way around the final turn, which will be the finish line. The 713, Jacob Rosales in the lead right now. We're informed that the 914 in the lead right now. He's just getting qualifying time, getting some seat time. He is not in the lead, so that first place car is just getting some track time. Jeremy Houle in the 954. Another one of the racers just getting their feet wet, get some track time, trying to qualify to get in. Vince Lemondola in the 711. Stason Robinson in the second spot. Yamaha still leading the way around. Even the guys that are out here qualifying, like I said, the other cars are still running them down. And as the track dries out, we're going to see these cars and Superstock truck coming up in our next race going to get a little bit faster. And as the day goes on, we have pros and the kid karts coming up, and it's going to be one heck of an afternoon. So stay tight, and we're going to see everyone starting to go faster this afternoon. Mandatory caution now out halfway through this stock UTV race.
I believe that's Richie Kuloff out there. I think he jumped from our Toyota Escondido pace truck into our Nielsen Enterprises Yamaha. You think he's having fun? You think he's having fun? Yeah, it does look like Richie behind the wheel of our pace vehicle. Going back to green flag racing this time by. Yeah, that YXE was fully prepped right off the truck, and it had all the lights installed, the whips, and prepared for this weekend all this week. So it was a last-minute thing. So thank you so much to the guys from Nielsen Enterprises and Mark in the service department. Did one hell of a job. Also want to thank the gang here from Johnny's Towing. You see a couple of those bright red tow vehicles in the back section just outside the wall there. And if you walked in through the main entryway, two huge 40-ton wreckers. Yeah, talking to him, he says he's got 5 of those things sitting in his lot. Here we go, back to green flag racing. And we're underway with a 713 running up front, Jacob Rosales. As it looks like right now, the YXZs that were out there doing some laps before have pulled off the track. And now it's nothing but Sportsman UTVs out on the track. Man, talk about bunching right up. It's a full Yamaha field. There's nobody else out there. Yep, all Yamahas. Johnny Greaves and CJ Greaves and their whole crew had a busy off season. It seemed like almost every YXZ that was sold in Wisconsin was going up to their shop and getting prepped for racing and new cages put on. I think I was told 25, 26 vehicles they worked on during the off season. Rosales pulling away from the field, but all but for one Yamaha out there. I believe that's John Lohman in that orange car. Lohman goes a little wide, loses a little bit to our leader, Rosales. Oh, Lohman gets a great run on the outside. He may have found a line that was going to work. Right where that, and Rosales then slides wide, blocks. I don't think it was intentional. I think it just happened, but Rosales slides wide through 1 and 2, takes that momentum away. Oh, here he comes back to the inside. Lohman now goes inside that left-hand turn. Here comes Rosales right back. They're side by side through the infield. Into the right-hand turn. Each driver trying to outbrake the other going through the corner. Lohman will take the lead about 3, 4, 5 car lengths now in front. And just like that, Rosales falls back to second and looks to be losing contact with our new leader, John Lohman. Vince Lemondola running in third, and that's 7-11. Our leader going by in the 799, John Lohman. 713, Jacob Rosales. I believe that's Stetson Robinson actually running in third, so I stand corrected. And now it has turned into our leaders pulling away. Big gap to second. Rosales running in second with a big gap to third. And maybe a little bit of a contest right now for that final podium spot. I have to be totally honest with you. I was not aware of the fact that there was going to be a Sportsman UTV division. So I'm not exactly sure what constitutes one of these cars being different than a Pro UTV. So we'll have to figure that out, find out, and when we come up with the Pro UTVs later on this afternoon, let everybody know what the differences are. It's kind of cool to see is all the Superstock trucks lined up for the next race, and right behind them, one of the coolest things you're going to see all afternoon, Pro or Sportsman, are the karts. The youngest drivers, both male and females, little girls and little boys. As the white flag comes out for our final lap, the karts are coming out in just a bit. Nice day going right now for John Lohman, our leader in that 799. One final time up over this tabletop, then the next one, and into the front stretch. Winning his first ever TORC Series race, coming out turn 4 in the Sportsman UTV division, will be John Lohman. Second across the line, the 713 of Jacob Rosales, in the 745 of Stetson Robinson, will finish in third. Well, while wait for our boys to come to the podium for our top 3 interviews. We'll be right back after this.
Rugged Radios. Work, race, play.
Hey, Steve, where you at?
Experience clear communications through headsets or helmet kits.
I'm up on the hill to your right. Oh, there you are.
Talk vehicle to vehicle.
Keep the radio contact going. Copy?
Talk to passengers.
Copy that, I gotcha.
And stream your favorite music. Complete communications for UTVs, base camp, toy haulers, or off-road vehicles. Rugged Radios, the authority in communications.
Hey, don't forget, you can follow TORC for contests, giveaways, race photos, and videos all day long, all weekend long, and all week long for that matter. Instagram and Twitter at TORC Off-Road. You can also like us on Facebook.com/TORC. Make sure to share your content, all the pictures and comments to be featured at hashtag full caps TORC17 and hashtag TORC Off-Road. Or for all kinds of stuff going on, everything from current points to a cool story, maybe some videos, maybe things from last year you want to check out. Go to TORCseries.com. Yeah, by the way, grab your microphone. How do they follow you, Brent? I mean, you're a social media guru.
You just follow me. You go to Twitter and go to @BrentSmith40 or @BrentSmithMotorsports45. So if you have nothing going on, which there isn't, get on your phone.
Yeah, now's a great time to take some pictures of what's going on, make a comment. Hashtag TORC17, hashtag TORC Off-Road. Post it on Facebook, because I have a funny feeling we got somebody back in the administration trailer monitoring everything, and you never know what might pop up on the Jumbotron. Well, let's now meet our top 3 finishers in Sportsman UTV, finishing that 3rd spot, the 7-Eleven of Vince LaMandola. Actually, I stand corrected in looking at scoring. Finishing 3rd with a 745 of Stetson Robinson.
Congratulations to you. First time out here, Sportsman UTV. First time out here in Chicago. Looks like those Maxes are doing great. How are you feeling today?
Oh, rusty. It's good to be back. It's a fun track.
Who do you want to thank today for bringing you here today?
What was that thing? Valor Apparel, Bikeman Performance, Maxxis Tires, Douglas Wheel, my parents, my girlfriend, Spotter Andrew did a hell of a job. Thanks everybody coming out.
Well, it's good to see you up here. Hop up on number 3. Congratulations.
Finishing second, the 713 of Jacob Rosales.
Congratulations to you, Jacob. It was quite a battle out there. How do you determine which lines you take going in? I know it's a little wet, hitting blue groove and everything. What goes through your mind when you want to take lines?
Well, when I was in front, I was taking my lines, I was taking a practice. Then when he started getting in front, I started hitting his lines. It was a lot smoother and just rode it through.
Seemed like you're doing well out there. How's that UTV treating you?
It's treating me good. I've had no problems with it. I'm just going to ride it for the rest of the season.
Well, who would you like to thank for bringing you here today?
I'd like to thank my dad, my family, Mr. Pete and Zach, and the Martin family.
Well, congratulations. Looks like we're off to something great. Hop up on number 2.
And our winner, the 799 of John Lohman.
Congratulations to you. It has to feel great. Top of the box over here for the first time, Sportsman UTV in Chicago. Man, you had some late action, some late night action over there. Taking that inside line right in from the infield, how does that feel?
Yeah, it feels great. We're local here, so this is our hometown track, and this is just real special. Mother's Day weekend, I have a new mother over there, my wife, so I want to say thanks to her. I want to say thanks to my old man who works endlessly on this thing to get us out here and racing. And I got to thank Rodney at Power Sports One, all the help along the way. If you're looking to buy a Yamaha YXZ, go see Rodney, he's the guy. And then Johnny and CJ Greaves, they've been a great help all along the way too. So yeah, it's a great time, thank you.
Well, I must tease you, and I'm just gonna say this. I have never had anybody take this microphone, but you deserve that. Hop up on number 1, congratulations. One more round of applause for your Sportsman UTV. Back up to you, Scott.
Once again, congratulations to our top 3 finishers. In that third spot, Stetson Robinson. Second, Jacob Rosales. And the win, John Lohman. Well, as we look off to our left, you see our truck class coming up next. We'll be right back with that.
For 41 years, winning drivers in all forms of motorsports have relied on VP Racing Fuels for leading-edge technology to optimize performance and power them to the winner's circle. Now you can get the same benefit with VP Additives, formulated for gas and diesel engines. It's race fuel technology for your daily driver, and the perfect way to clean out your fuel system and put the power back in your drive. VP Additives are available at your local AutoZone store. For more information, visit vpracingfuels.com.
You heard us talk about it earlier, but there's a great example of the gang here from Johnny's Towing. Thank you so much for coming out here and hanging out with us this weekend. They've got two big 40-ton wreckers out there at the main entrance into the pit area from the parking lot, which was really impressive yesterday when they pulled in. And they show up this morning with a flatbed and that wrecker right there. And I had a chance, I believe it was Wednesday, I drove out to their lot. Holy, every vehicle looks like that. Such a first-class, cool-looking business. So I think if you got issues, you need to get your something towed or hauled around, Johnny's Towing. Year. Be sure to visit the new Maxxis.com and stop by the Max Sports Semi, including the Ultra High Pass, the best race of the day, right here. Huge shout out, Nate Dogg, and the off-road fraternity's in the house, helping out again. Little the Whiskey Express of Gatlin Keener. And that kid is fast. And a special shout out to that young man. Congratulations, Gatlin graduated college. 73, row 5, Kenny Platten in the 812. And we got a new driver out there with a, how about this, a drifted background on pavement. Kelly, CV student in the 44. Next, you're in that dirt. And right now, for the first lap or two, this is what we're going to see. By about midway point on, this track will be pristine. Didn't seem right, and it's actually Clint Neschler.
Holding on to
two. Stops right at the top of the infield.
It's all for safety. You don't want nobody coming up behind him, and he's parked.
Well, the thing is, he didn't drift back down to the bottom of the tabletop, so it's just in this very.
I said earlier, Russell Automotive Power Plant in the Clyde-Camp Motorsports truck. That truck handles well. Kyle Greaves did a nice job in the off-season. I can bet you that Clyde-Camp will be in the mix.
Oh, some more touching going on. Oh, man, Machosik hard in that left rear quarter panel of Neschler.
Neschler trying to protect the inside, shuts the door. Machosik hard on the binders.
I don't think there's a way you could have slid a piece of paper between those bumpers just a moment ago. Neschler still hanging on to that point. Now about maybe a one truck length lead. And Clyde-Camp just watching what's going on.
He's starting to drive it harder through that rhythm section, and this is the time of the race. You have an idea. If you're in Clyde-Camp's truck, you're watching these guys. You're hoping they're going to take each other out. But at the same time, you have to keep moving forward.
Man, Neschler keeps going wide up against the wall. Loses the point for just a moment, but then gets a run out of the turn 4 of the oval and retakes the lead. And, man, those rollers are just upsetting the suspension as I believe that was Machosik just dumped the right rear quarter panel. It's fiberglass, but man, look at the rubbing going on.
Machosik makes room and gets to the inside.
That was a perfect off-road pass. Rubbing is racing, and they were doing a whole lot of rubbing.
And
there.
Here comes Neschler back. Moves Machosik out of the way. Another lead change. Bumping back and forth, coming back to what will be the final laps of this Superstock showdown. Machosik gets a good jump. Neschler working that middle line. Machosik not giving an inch. Either is Nestler. Machosik hard on the binders. Pushes Nestler right off the tabletop, and here comes Kleikamp. Jamie Kleikamp now in that second spot. Jamie just got to put laps together. He knows Machosik's been fast all day, but that truck has the speed to reel him in.
Still no white flag. Machosik running up front. Second, Jamie Kleikamp. The 8-12 of Kenny Platten running that third spot. He's been real quiet this whole race, but yet he's worked his way forward. So a nice run right now for Kenny, currently in that final podium position. And how about this? At one point was stopped on the track, pounded the outside wall through the infield, had to back up, found himself in last place right now, running in sixth, and that's Troy Shaden.
Machosik tiptoeing through that infield. Kleikamp having a hard time rotating the truck. Big ruts in that infield. Machosik trying to double a tabletop.
And Troy Shaden's finally pulled off the track. We just mentioned a moment ago, I could have swore I saw some sort of flash fire when he hit that outside wall, backed up and took back off again. So he's able to run a few more laps, but now Shaden is off the track, and it looks like, yeah, there's some sort of fire underneath that truck right now.
Nestler moved back in the fourth position, trying to get back on that podium spot. As I say, it dives right to the bottom.
Nice inside move by Nestler. Outbraked, going into the corner, makes up one spot. Now you know he's going to be even harder on it, trying to work his way forward. Oh, man, big time inside contact in the right-hand turn. Still no white flag. And our fourth place truck starting to show a little bit of smoke. I believe that's Kenny Platten. Our top five trucks now pretty much equally gapped out, first through five. And it kind of makes you wonder if, kind of like Clint Nestler may have burned up the tires a little bit, or kind of wore out the car, or wore out his truck a little bit, because he's definitely not as fast as he was in the first half of this race.
No, these top three trucks look pretty equal. Kleikamp's been running hard, trying to reel in Machosik. Machosik, he's just pacing himself, trying to not make a mistake. Just baby stepping around that turn in the infield as Kleikamp throws it in hard.
It just appears he's going as fast as he needs to go. As we're watching our leader around the track right now, off the tabletop, back into turn 4 of the oval. Just, this is where the spotters become invaluable, because they're telling you what the gap is back to second. Meanwhile, the driver's watching that gap, paying attention to it, watching the gauges, the temps, everything like that. So he's going just as fast as he needs to go. As we're starting to see a little something coming out of the back of our leader's truck, whether it was steam, maybe a little bit of smoke, but our truck, our leader, might be having some sort of issues, starting to show its head a little bit.
Yeah, he showed a lot of smoke coming back to the infield, Machosik. Kleikamp goes off the side of the tabletop, corrects himself back. This track is really roughing up in the infield.
Yeah, there's just a hint of something coming out of the back of that truck. Still not able to tell if it's smoke or steam, but Yeah, Machosik might be having issues starting to appear.
Kleikamp finally finding a line through that middle finger section. White flag coming out for Joey Machosik.
And look at the battle for third spot. We've got Clint Neschler in that blaze orange and black Ford. Right behind him, Kenny Platt in that red and white Chevrolet. Our top two trucks are well out in hand, but right now the battle's for the final podium spot, and it could end up being a 3-truck battle. You know, I know there's a wedding going on right now, but do you think they took a moment to kind of stop everything and check out the laptop and watch Clint run this race? He's done one hell of a job in a brand new truck.
Wedding. You don't plan them on off-road weekend.
Yeah, but it's Bing. You know, it's the Abrams gang, man. And the checkered flag is out. Our winner this afternoon, Joey Machosik. Second, Jamie Kleikamp. And taking third, congratulations to the Bings. Your boy, Clint Neschler, will finish on the podium spot in third. This is going to be a fun interview trackside with, oh boy, with our drivers. We'll be right back after this with those interviews.
When it comes to protecting your engine, AMSOIL offers the next level performance truck owners demand. AMSOIL provides 75% more engine protection against horsepower loss and wear than required by a leading industry standard, extending the life of pistons and cams. Give the vehicle you love the above and beyond fortification it deserves. AMSOIL, devoted to protection.
Well, race fans, it's now time to meet our top 3 finishers in the Superstock division. At first, I thought it was Kenny Schrader crawling out of that race truck. So that Budweiser fire suit. But you know what? Clint, you got a pretty cool phone call to make to a wedding party going on right now back home. Finishing 3rd in a brand new truck, driving for Nick Bing, today's 3rd place finisher, Clint Neschler.
Congratulations to you. It was a battle the entire race. Either it was for 3rd place or it was for 1st place, but you made it on the 3rd place box today. What is going through your mind when you're up there first, Joey takes you out, you come all the way back, and you got to fight all the way to the 3rd?
I knew it was a tough battle between me and Joey. I haven't been behind the wheel for quite a few years, and this felt really good. All I know is my son Alex was spotting for me, and he just kept pushing me the whole time. I got to thank Nick for letting me get the opportunity to run his truck for today for him. I wish he wouldn't make it tomorrow, but yeah, I got to thank some of his sponsors: Nishax Auto Body, Holters, Pointhead Ironworks, Max's Tire. There's quite a few other ones out there. I don't know off the top. Country Club, Dale and Jane's. I just got to thank Nick.
Well, congratulations. You've done him proud. Hop up on number 3.
Our 2nd place finisher. I don't know what it is about these trucks that come from the Abrams, Wisconsin area, but there's 2 of them on the podium. But this young man right here moved his way up from the buggy classes and now is putting his foot down. He's putting it down hard in the Superstock. The 825, finishing 2nd, Jamie Kleikamp.
Congratulations to you, Jamie. It seemed like for most of the race you were hitting there 3rd place, watching those first 2 battle it out there. I know you were waiting for that spot. You finally got it. What determines what lines you take when you're watching those 2 in front of you?
I was trying not to commit just in case they got locked together, but the track is so rough. You moved around just to try and get around out of the corner without rolling over. The rut would kick you and steer you, and it was tough.
Well, it seems like you've done a great job. Who do you want to thank today for putting you in that 2nd place box?
I didn't think we were going to be here. We didn't even get to practice. We didn't even get to run the track. We finished the truck just before we come out here. I got to thank Jerry Russell of Automotive and his crew and family. They supported us big time coming on last year. My crew, Adam and Mark, they stick with us. They bust their butts in the garage and make my program what it is. They come away from their families to travel. My wife and kids for putting up with the long hours and doing anything that I ask them to do. I had to thank my sponsors, Big O's, Jay's Auto, High Rev Graphics, just come on board, do our t-shirts and our graphic jobs. MJ Excavating, Valechka Logging, Radio Results Network.
And you got to thank her one more time for helping you out.
Thanks, honey.
Congratulations. Hop up on number 2.
And our winner, you know, Joey, I gotta say this, man. You got one hell of a war horse right there, man. That thing beat on other trucks. The other trucks beat on you, and you took the top spot. Today's winner in Superstock, the 851 of Joey Machosik.
Congratulations to you, Joey. We were just talking over here. Last year in Chicago, first race out here, you took Saturday, Sunday, 1st place. 2017 year, you've done it one more time. Are we going for a complete sweep tomorrow?
Well, that's the plan. If Clint's in the truck, I don't know. He gave me a good battle today. That was a lot of fun. On the restart, I must hit a big mud hole over here, and he just shot right past me. But other than that, those Max's tires were hooking up very well. I got to thank my dad. I just bought a house, so I've been working on that. My dad's been putting the whole truck together. This one was for you, Pops.
Well, congratulations. You've done well here in Chicago. Can't wait to see what we got in store tomorrow. Hop up on number 1. One more round of applause for these 3 gentlemen right here. And back up to you, Scott.
Thanks a lot, Tiffany. Great job. That was one of the coolest races. You know what, this class, I've said it so many times, oftentimes, if not every time, is one of the best races of the entire weekend. Superstock, one hell of a class. Well, the race fans, we talked about it just a little while earlier. You know, the upcoming race weekend, a couple of weeks away, in a beautiful little town in northern Minnesota. If you don't believe me, watch this.
It's mid-May, we're in Elk River, Minnesota at ERX Motor Park. Now, a year ago, nobody believed that we could make a world-class off-road racing facility. Well, 1 year later, here we are with 2 events coming up in 2017. When we built this track, we wanted to embody the true essence of off-road racing. We wanted a track that would change lap to lap for the driver so that they would be challenged from start to finish. The key area that challenges these drivers starts with a 180-degree clay turn. At that point, the drivers need to make a decision on a split lane sand section. Once they come out of that section, they come into a treacherous whoop section that leads right into a Talladega turn. In 2017, we wanted to ensure that the fan experience at ERX was second to none. We have improved seating, including 2 new bleacher sections, as well as a section of seating that we are affectionately dubbing People of the Trees. ERX Motor Park now sits on more than 400 acres. This allows us to accentuate the fan experience, including more than 150 new camping spots that are available for both TORC weekends. ERX is the best value you will find for your family all summer long. For more information on camping and tickets, go to erxmotorpark.com, and we'll see you June 10th and 11th. It's mid-May.
You know, we talk about how ERX came out of the scene last year, holding its first off-road race ever, and I've been doing this 22 years, and I really feel that that was the best first ever event or first ever location we've ever been to. Beautiful setting. It's got just down the road all the restaurants and all the hotels. So if you're interested in going, fine. If not, they've also got on-site camping. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. You're camping in a campground in the woods. We talked about the trout stream that runs alongside staging. And the thing is, you weren't there last year, and I remember it was killing you because you kept messaging me on the social medias. But, ERX, what an awesome, awesome facility. And what the coolest thing is, we're going there twice, and one of them will be the finals. The championship will be awarded at the last race of the year there at ERX Motor Park in Elk River, Minnesota. We can see off to the left one of the coolest classes in all of off-road racing, but they look awfully small. I can tell you, too, that the drivers are awfully young, and they're not all that big either, come to think of it. But, ladies and gentlemen, the Midwest karts are coming out onto the track, and one of the coolest classes of off-road racing to see, and this is the future of our sport right here trackside. Both little girls and little boys are out here on the track. And in fact, how about this? Let's go through our lineup right now. On the front row, the 411 of Gavin Oldenfed. Alongside of him on the outside, Sam Marquardt, row 2. Michael Funk in the number 7. Pedro Hanowitz starts outside of row 2. Troy Johnson starts inside of row 3 in the 11. Easton Sleeper outside in number 13. In row 4, Zachary Hanowitz in the number 31, and Owen Van Epren in the 45 outside of him. In row 5, Kennedy Marquardt in the number 90 outside of Kennedy is Hope Conrad in the 79. And in row 6, out inside is Braden Beauchamp, and outside is John Holcher in the 44. And if you were kind of recognizing some of those last names, it's because you did. You have. A lot of the kids out here on that racetrack, their parents, whether it be mom or dad, are out there in the racetrack as well in their own class. So a lot of cool things about this course. And you know what? It's really economical to get involved in. And this is a perfect example where you really need to walk the pits. Hang out with some of these drivers, the teams, take pictures, get autographs, and check out one of these Midwest karts up close and personal. But if you're iffy about getting involved, you better not take your young one with you, because they're going to be bugging the living crap out of you after they get their eyeballs on this, that they want to get up. And by the way, also, this is a great teaching tool, not only in racing and setup, things like that, but also in discipline. Good grades, you can race. Clean up the dog poop in the backyard, go right ahead, we can race. This is, trust me, I know I did this. It works.
I remember PJ back in the day.
We're going green this time by front row, Gavin Oldenfed and Sam Marquardt coming to green. Wow, last year's defending champion trying to make things happen, trying to make it 3 wide, and a little rubbing is racing. Did I forget to tell you that they're pretty aggressive up there in the racetrack? A position change coming into the infield. Oh, man, up on two wheels. Brakes, my friend, brakes. Easton Sleeper's up in the second, having started in that 6th spot. Oh, up his side. Now you'll tell who that is.
Troy Johnson.
Troy Johnson back on its wheels, but here's the thing. What we failed to mention about that, these kids are in fire suits from head to toe, fire retardant shoes, gloves, helmets, the whole 9 yards. You swear to gosh you're watching a pro driver crawl inside that race truck. Head and neck restraints, fully safe inside these trucks. And oftentimes parents are saying that they're safer in these trucks. This is the parents talking. They're safer in these trucks than they are playing football out in the.
They really are, though. I mean, they're a short, little, small version of your Pro 2 or your Pro 4. I mean, as a kid, that would have been great. Like, me and my brother would have went nuts if we had something to work on like that. And it gives these kids a goal. I mean, it's not only a dream for them probably to get into the bigger classes, but they learn to work on them. They learn to clean the body panels. They learn to prep them day in and day out. And Morkart in the lead there last year, I remember when they were out there, he did a wonderful job. But, I mean, as time goes on and you get seat time in anything, you can progress and be a better driver, be a better set up team. And it's like anything. These karts, if they're not perfect, they won't work.
Yeah, and one of the coolest things is we talked about parents kind of helping these kids along to work on their own vehicles, and I think it was this last week. There was a picture on I believe on Facebook or one of the social medias, where Easton Sleeper, his dad was patting him on the back kind of for getting really good grades. But you know what? There's a truck that needs to take care of. You want to race? That's it's on the shop. Yep. Start working on it. And there's a picture of Easton on his back underneath the race truck. There's race cart, and all you saw was like from his knees down. Everything else is underneath that cart. So, yeah, it sounds like, I mean, like I say, this is the future of our sport. And if this is the case, man, this is going to be really, really neat to see. So it looks like both karts are back underway. And we'll assume the position behind at the tail end of the lead lap. Still think one of the coolest, I should say one of the luckiest guys here this weekend is Richie Kuloff right now driving that Nielsen Enterprises YXZ Yamaha, our official pace vehicle of the TORC series in the UTV division. So it looks like Faye's going to go out there. Our flagman, Faye Stesney, is going to line up everybody in their proper order. Don't forget, everybody, make sure to stop by to see Tim from Racing Dirty. His trailer's adjacent to the gate as soon as you walk underneath the grandstands. He has all the official TORC apparel for 2017. I guess he's got some pretty good blowout prices from a lot of neat designs from last year. So he's got a couple of racks of that as well. So, but if you're looking for a Chicagoland Slam shirt from this year, he's got some really cool designs, and he does it all himself. He isn't contracted out, doesn't send it to Mexico. He does it all himself in Las Vegas. Wow. And hats, T-shirts, women's cuts, women's tops, hoodies. Also the Chris Kahn Memorial Benefit sticker he's selling for $1 a piece. 100% of the proceeds going to the benefit. 100% of the proceeds. In fact, I was on the phone with Wayne Kyle last night, and he was not a gearhead at all. All he cared about were guns, horses, and his family. That's all he cared about when I met him 3 years ago. As we get ready for pro racing this afternoon, let's take a step aside and say hello to Kate Osborne. Kate?
The hardest thing is the flip of the mic. The fact that they want me to turn it on and off, but it's a slippery little sucker. Okay. So my thumb's on it. It will, I don't want it to slide down in mid-conversation. Out here, these little things are so cute. These just little guys. They're just little trucks. Am I... How's everyone doing? There we go. Thanks, Scott, for the intro down here on the track. Are you guys all having a good time? There you go. Good. Thank you. We have some great racing here happening this weekend. It's going to be epic. I know a lot of these guys are excited. Some changes and some new rules to all of the classes, especially in pro. And I think it's going to make some really good racing. On top of that, we have a new Joker lap and a Joker lane, which is very different to the sport and very new. And I know, Scott, Rain, you are super excited to see those pros out there. But in the meantime, let's finish up with these guys.
Well, thanks a lot, Kate. It's cool to have you back here again and being a part of the Pro Series. As she's going to be our our trackside reporter for our TV show and live stream for the pro races. So, Kate Osborne, if you remember her, you watch her on many different networks doing various automotive shows. I think her latest venture, Kate, if you can hear me, I'm not sure. Is it part of the Mecum Auto Auction, I think. Is it Mecum? Yeah? Is that a thumbs up? Yeah. She's part of the Mecum Auto Auction. So, Kate, welcome back, girl. We should be going back to green flag racing this time by, as it looks like it kind of has that complete restart look to it. Well, come back around. You see the two TORC flags, small little knee-high TORC flags, the inside of turn 4. Anytime within those two flags, our leader, our pole sitter, can take the green flag, and he starts the race. The rest of the field falls in line when our starter waves the flag. But once again, here we go.
Sam Morcourt looking to the inside. Punting him through the woods.
How about Easton Sleeper? Got called out one more time. He was up to second in the first part of this race before he did the restart, and now he's going for it again. They're 3 wide going to that left-hand turn.
Paige Wahanowitz on the outside, trying to go the long way around.
For a moment there, they're actually 4 wide as here comes, how about this? Here's our Owen Van Eperen. He's our defending class champion. Already, let's see, here we go. 3 wide through turn 3. Marquardt comes right back into that second spot. Owen Van Eperen and Easton Sleeper now battling for that last podium spot. And our leader goes wide. Gavin Oldenfent goes real wide, gives up the lead to Sam Marquardt. Marquardt now running up front.
Sleeper, Van Eperen side by side. Van Eperen all over Sleeper, gets him sideways. Marquardt still running that inside.
And here comes Holcher now. Holcher's trying to make a race of it as well in the top 5. And here comes Owen Van Eperen now to the inside. He gets around. Oh, big contact between Holcher and Sleeper.
Sleeper parks it into
Oh,
the
man.
tractor tire.
Got turned into the inside tire marker, and now will end up last in the field.
And look at our leaders. Owen Van Eperen taking the lead in the number 45.
He's our defending class champion. He started back in the 8th spot. 8th spot. I'm telling you, Marquardt's not going anywhere. He's hanging tough.
Paige Wahanowitz still running in the top 5. Braden Beauchamp on the Armor Steel, number 20, just stepping into the top 5. Morcord.
I think Easton Sleeper's got a left rear flat tire. I was thinking there for a minute that he just kind of could do a couple laps, stay in the lead lap, play that halfway point of the competition yellow, but right now I think he's got a left rear flat tire on that green cart coming right here in front of us.
Here comes Morcord again to the inside of Van Eperen. Both of them go up on the bike, and so does third place.
And now Holter moves up into the top 3.
Van Eperen still holding on to about a half a truck length lead. Morcord down to the bottom.
Wow, what
Takes
a great move. That is so cool to see from such young drivers at the competition yellow. Oh, he slows, and right at the flag, Van Eperen will take the lead.
You wonder if Morcord seen those yellow and red and thought maybe I'll get off the gas a little bit, but Van Eperen took advantage of that, and now get the restart out front.
Yeah, I can't help but think that as much as Easton would love to pull in the pits with a left rear tire get changed, the last lap and a half that he's doing has been just beating up on that belt. And even if he did change the tire, that belt is so chunked up or so hot and slippery right now that it wouldn't do him any good because these things, as small as they are and as low on horsepower as they are, I want to say there's probably 15, maybe 16 horsepower, that's still going to just beat up on those belts.
Coming back for the restart, Van Eperen, Marquardt, Holger. Watch Marquardt as he comes into this rhythm section. He just flat foots it.
Well, I can't help but think these kids got those things figured out better than some of the truck drivers out here earlier. We have got a 4-kart battle for the lead right now. Last 2 years, we basically spent time watching Owen Van Eperen just pull away from the entire field race after race, but right now that is not happening.
Paige Wahanowitz gets around Braden Beauchamp. Beauchamp up on the bike. You see Morquardt, he drives it into that corner just a little bit harder than Van Eperen, trying to see if that'll work late in the race.
This is where they will learn a great lesson as far as keeping that momentum up. There's a fine line of cutting off the corner a little bit too tight and scrubbing off speed and momentum, or taking that turn too wide and just losing all kinds of time. And these kids, that's what they're learning. They'll be able to step up if they choose to get into, say, a light buggy, where it's the same kind of thinking. Keeping that speed momentum up to the corners, not too tight, not too wide. And this is one of the coolest things to see. And we were watching it earlier where these guys were going into the corner high, coming out tight, and we watched Marquardt do it a couple of times, making passes. And I'm really, really impressed with him right now, running in that second spot.
Yeah, talking about that, when I came in last night, I was talking to Scott Bosha on that, and it was funny. Like we were saying, how the parents, they're helping these kids, trying to get them to be a better race car driver at a young age. Like Scotty was explaining, like if you scrub off speed, you're gonna lose 3, 4, 5 spots.
And it looks like Holter pulls off the track. Tough break as he was running in the top 4. Holter looks like his day might be done. He just pulled right off. You know, and these kids go for championships. They absolutely go for it. Easton's been out there now almost the whole race minus 1 lap with a flat tire. Guess what? He's not going to finish last now. He's going to be passing Holter, so he just
points.
Another point. Yeah, exactly.
White flag. Van Eperen taking it easy, coming back through the middle section.
And we have another car pulling off the track in the backstretch right at the first jump. Cannot quite tell who that is from here. But there's another example of Easton being able to stay on the track, and now another point. And just like that, a little bit of time, baby step upon baby step, Owen Van Eperen has pulled away from Scott Marquardt. And here's the checkered flag. Ladies and gentlemen, his first race win of the season. In race number 1, Owen Van Eperen, Scott Marquardt finishes second, and Gavin Oldfent will finish in third. As the rest of the field makes their way around the track, we'll get our top 3 up to the podium, and we'll be right back after this.
Turo Trailblade Tires, the weapon of choice for wherever you want to go.
Well, race fans, let's now meet the final Sportsman Division racers right now. Our top 3 finishers in the short course karts. Finishing third, the 411 of Gavin Oldfent.
Congratulations to you, Gavin. I was just talking to your mom. You're 8 years old. You come from a snowcross background. First time ever in that truck out there, and you're on the 3rd place box. How are you feeling right now?
Good.
Wow. You've left me speechless. You have to be speechless right now. Anybody you want to thank for bringing you here?
God, Josh, my mom, Alex, Germany, and Speedworks, Trail Motorsports, and yeah.
Well, you've done a wonderful job, mister. It's great to have you in this class. Can't wait to see what else is coming for the rest of the season. Nice job. Flip your trophy around, honey.
Well, race fans, let's now meet our 2nd place finisher. One of the brightest trucks in any class on the racetrack. The number 90, finishing 2nd, Sam Marquardt.
Congratulations to you, Sam. It was quite a battle with you and Owen out there. You came up on 2nd place box, following those lines, seeing how dirty it is out there. What goes through your mind?
Mad when I let him by right here.
So you're really upset that you let him by right here. What do we got in store for tomorrow? Better yet, what has Owen got in store for tomorrow?
Better watch out.
You hear that, Owen? Sam says you better watch out. Anybody you'd like to thank?
Heck Electric, HB 53, my mom, my dad, my sister, Amsoil, Todd's Custom Paint, and Jane's Classic Touch, and that's all.
Perfect. Well, congratulations to you. You've done a well job today.
And now, finally, our top spot from Appleton, Wisconsin, on number 45, our defending class champion. He did it again, Owen Van Eperen.
Congratulations to you, Owen. Last year in Chicago, you took these 2 races. You've done it again here. Just like Scott said, you were the champ of 2016 season. What do we got in store this year?
I don't know, pretty much the same.
Well, that's a great thing to do. I mean, if it's not broke, why fix it, right?
Yeah.
Well, who would you like to thank for bringing you again here today, top of the box in Chicago?
Holzer Brothers, Yamaha, Yamalu, Power Sports 1, Never Live, my mom, my dad, my grandma and grandpa, my brother. I don't know.
Well, you've done a fine job again here in Chicago. Seems like you like this track. One more round of applause for these 3 fine gentlemen, top 3 podium finishers. Back up to you, Scott.
Once again, congratulations to our littlest racers out here this afternoon. Nice job, and Owen Van Eperen, especially you, my friend, picking up right where you left off in 2016. Another win. And once again, I want to thank everybody for watching us here this morning for the Sportsman Series. We'll be right back in just a moment for the Pro Series. We'll be right back.